Hi, this is Steve from Sweet Child of Time. Before the show starts, I wanted to let you know how we do the show. It all starts with Zencastr. I send the link out to my co-hosts. We all get on screen together. We can all see each other just fine. It's a great, easy, nice connection. Everybody records locally on their microphones, which means that if their Wi-Fi cuts in or out, or if the conversation drops sometimes, which is pretty common in podcasting when you're on screen on a Zoom call, Zencastr records everything perfectly. So in the final edit, when they send me their file or when I download their file, everything is there. That cutout is not there. So it works great when you're editing. Zencastr makes it really easy to edit your podcast as well. You can just go to zencastr.com/pricing and use my promo code SweetChildOfTime and get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. If you want to have the same easy experience that I do for all of my podcasting needs, then choose Zencastr. It's time to share your story. Hello there, and welcome to Sweet Child of Time. I'm your host, Steve Barnes, and today we got a rad episode for you. It's so rad that I proclaimed it as rad. We have a special guest today. This episode was arranged and produced by Lindsay Dunn, and astute listeners will know that she is the moderator over at the Facebook group that's called Dark Ways 1899 Dark and Beyond. And one of the members of that group is an actor named Jonathan Neira, known as Jonathan Walrus. And he's a member of that group, but he's also an actor that has played in 1899. He's played in other movies as well as the series The Queen's Gambit. And he's in an upcoming Wes Anderson movie. He hasn't filmed it yet, but he's getting ready to next week from what he said in this interview. So what I'll be playing you is a live stream that Lindsay arranged with Jonathan, and she invited me on too. And she said I could release as an episode of Sweet Child of Time, so that's what I'm going to do. This is a great episode, a little shorter than most of them, and I'd like you to enjoy Jonathan and check out his music. I've been checking his music out lately. His two bands are The Recalls, which is he, his brother, and a couple other guys, and they have 3 original albums out. And that same group of guys also is in a band called The Blackbirds, spelled Byrds. And they do all 60s and 70s cover songs. And they play around their home country and use that band, the cover band, to support their original band. It's a pretty neat idea. So I'm going to get into the episode now. So Lindsay, take it from here. Sweet Child of Time, episode 102.
Happy Saturday, everybody. I'm here for one of my stories. This is Lindsay Dunn, and today we are in the Dark Ways Facebook group for a live Q&A with an 1899 cast member. But before I introduce him, I'm going to bring in my co-host and partner in all things Dark Ways. It's Steve Barnes.
It's me. Hello, Lindsay. Thanks for having me.
Or you may know him as Introvoid from the Sweet Child of Time podcast. Ahoy, Steve.
Ahoy there, Lindsay. I was waiting for you to say that. Thank you very much. And we can say ahoy to your guest as well, because he was on the boat. He was actually on the boat.
Yes, we're going to introduce him in just a minute. But how are you feeling today, Steve? Are you ready to talk about some 1899/Dark Ways stuff?
I mean, yeah, this is what I always wait for. I'm always wanting to podcast. So, yes, this is exactly what I want to be doing. I've been looking forward to it. So, yeah, I'm so glad you invited me, because you didn't have to. You could have just done this, just with you and the special guest. But I really appreciate you inviting me. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, Maura and Ike always work together. So we had to be true to form. They never worked solo. They would start to, and then they would be like, I'm going to go find Ike, or I'm going to go find Maura. So
that's right. Yeah, you're a dashing redhead, and I am a dashing grayed middle-aged man. It works out great.
Yes. I'm glad we have this simpatico between us. So now for the man of the hour. We are happy today to speak with Dark Ways Facebook group member, Jonathan Walrus. Hello,
Hi guys.
Jonathan.
Hello.
Glad to be here. with you. Greeting from Germany.
So Jonathan spilled the beans a few weeks ago and revealed that he himself was a cast member on the show 1899. So of course we wanted to talk to him about that. Ahoy, Jonathan.
Ahoy there.
Of course.
That's something Steve started doing when he watched the show.
What do you mean, ahoy?
Ahoy?
Yeah, ahoy.
That's just like I don't even know if it translates to other languages, but just a general boat term when you say hi to another boater.
Yeah,
a
when
person
you're on
who's
the
on a boat, you say ahoy, there.
So I'm just going to read a little bit of your IMDb profiles so we introduce you that you were born in Chile, later moved to Barcelona, and now live in Germany. You got interested in music as a youth and began a career in music, and you perform in 2 bands, the Recalls and also the Blackbirds, who are performing today in a few hours. But you are also an actor and have performed in both The Queen's Gambit and 1899, plus a German film called Trash Detective, as well as some other projects. So that's quite a list of credits. I'm going to go ahead and ask you some questions, but if people are listening in the Facebook group and have questions for Jonathan, please put them in the chat.
I'm monitoring that right now, so I can see who's listening and who's not listening. So anybody who's not listening, I'm going to go after you. So get your ears on.
So, Jonathan, how did you get into acting?
I was studying architecture for 3 years, and I was like, "Oh, this is so boring. I need something like really exciting for me." And then I went to the theater one day, and then it's okay. That's it for me. And I quit architecture, and then I started to study theater. A musician, I was my whole life musician. And then started theater and started to do some play. And then one day they needed a young, Pablo Neruda is a poet guy from Chile. And they were doing a series for the Pablo Neruda, and then they called me for that role, and I started everything, on TV, and then some creamies, some telenovela, this kind of typical telenovela. And then I started everything like that, and then I moved to Barcelona. I was like, okay, I want more things, and in Chile it's kind of difficult. And I decided to move it to Barcelona, to the theater there, and also films there. And then I knew people from Germany. They were doing theater there, and they invited to Stuttgart to play some theater there. And I moved to Germany. That was my story.
I didn't catch what age you were when you started your first acting thing. How old were you when you first started?
25.
Okay, great. Okay, a learned man.
Yeah, because they was going out from the school when I was 18, and then I started to study architecture, and then 3 years in theater.
So, how did you find out about the audition opportunity for 1899?
Mm-hmm.
I was doing theater in Stuttgart, and my brother is living in Berlin. My brother was doing some extra stuff, some appearance extra, because it's an agency in Berlin that it's really big and call every time people for do a side job of acting. And he said, hey, he introduced this agency. So he me this agency, and then called me, hey, this is an agency, and they do a lot of film here. And I applied. I was there, I give the address of my brother because they don't take people from other cities, just from Berlin. Oh. And I give the address of my brother, and I went to there. They take a picture of me, and then I say, okay, we're gonna call you. And then the first thing that they called me for, I was for Queen Gambit. I didn't know there was this story. I didn't. Just they called me, hey, you have to be here at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yes. And I went there. And I entered to this big place, in Berlin. And it was everything, like Las Vegas. And I said, oh, it's cool, yeah. And then appeared Anna Taylor and this actor from Nowhere Boy.
Heck yeah.
Nowhere Boy, I love Beatles. And I was like, whoa, something happening. And Yeah, and everything started there. I loved it there, even if it was a really side acting, beside job of display, and was really amazing. I said, oh, I'm really near from Hollywood, because was I also director from Hollywood, and then wow. Then I started to appear in some other series, like was a German series called Helgoland, and other series called Sky Eyes. And then they called me, hey, we need you for the director of Dark. And I loved it. I was watching this series, Dark, and I love it.
Oh.
I love it.
Oh.
They called me, but then in the end, they said, no, we decided for other people. And they called me for acting there, but I didn't get there. And but I loved it. I really loved it. And then I realized they were calling me for the next series for the same director. And I went there, and it was amazing. I come to the studio in Babelberg Studios. It's in Potsdam, near from Berlin. It's a big studio, like a Hollywood studio, really a city, And I went inside, and it was this big boat, the big ship.
Oh,
inside. Yeah. with the technology, it started in that time. The technology, with this LED, with you can see everything. It's not with the green shot, the green screen. It's with the projection, and like a be there, be in the ocean and be in this ship. And I started one day. The next day, okay, we need you 3 days more. Okay, and then the next week, okay, we need. And I went there 3-4 months working in this area. In the third class, was down in the third class, and I was kind of a writer. They went from Europe to America in this ship. It's
right.
Kind of my character, and I did a lot of shoots, but they doesn't appear too much, and they caught it, and it's too much, and I lot shoot it.
So your character was, you were a writer. You had a character they gave you, this is what your job is, or this is what you want to do, this is why you're on the boat?
I think it was created in the days what happened down, because when you are not main character, or when you are not main, you are just a furniture, and then it's again you have to be there, do something in the table, and then I take a piece of paper. I started to write something, and then the viewer say okay. Then it started to be the created the character, And beside of the other character, they were, but it was the work there, and the work of and the people that were there. That we were and nearly 50 people in the third class down. The third class of the ship, in the part of the ship. There were people from Argentina, people from Chile, and there were scenes that we were talking. Everyone had to talk in their own language. Where a group of people talking in Spanish, other people were talking in Russian, other people were talking in English, other people in Danish, And that was really, really, really fun to work there.
Well, we have a question from one of our group members, Emily Stevens. She says, thank you for doing this, Jonathan. I wanted to ask if you knew much about 1899's complex plotline as you were filming it. Did you know its science fiction elements at the time? So how much did you know about the whole story as you were filming, or did they just give you one piece at a time?
I didn't know nothing until I saw the watch it. And the final. The final made me really. When I was watching it, I was like, "Wow, this is the final of the series." It was woo. In that moment, later when the series showing in Netflix, and then I was watching, I knew there was a science fiction. First for me was kind of. Okay, this is happen. This is a kind of drama for people going from Europe to America in a ship that happened, in the 1800s. And I thought that it was about that this series. I didn't know before it was how the series finished. It was kind of really surprised.
You're doing a great job of describing your experience on set and how you felt when you were there. Because this is fascinating to me. I know it's got to be for Lindsay and Emily too. Like, because we watched this series multiple times, and like I would imagine myself like, what would I be doing if I was on that? So you actually got to live that, and that's amazing. So I just appreciate listening to it.
I was watching the Mandalorian, that with all the technology that they use,
right?
Yeah.
And then I was there, and they're using the same technology, and it was really,
The set, the film, when they show footage of being on the set, it looks so amazing. So curious about which of the main cast members that we know the best did you interact with the most on the set?
Yeah, I was doing some scenes with the Even un Anke all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, that's my guy.
With the Danish family. There was one scene that they didn't appear. It was really good. And we were interacting a lot together. And they were really nice people. And also with Anke, we were talking all the time because we were touring with the Ricas with a band from Denmark. And he knew this band, and then we were talking about music and whatever. And then in the set, we interacting a lot of that with them. Also, the first scene when come and put it in the table. I can remember the girl. It was pregnant.
Tove.
Yeah, and they put it in the table, and I was there all the time. I was there all the time around the table and interacting with them. Yeah.
I saw you in that scene. I saw you in the scene, of course, where you guys are all going to war and going to go shoot people. But also,
it was with a good piece of wood. Try to enter. Where is the kid? I said that.
Yeah.
Where is the kid? Where is the kid? And then I go outside. I said, he's not here. And they caught it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I wanted to go back. You were talking about Anchor, the actor that plays him is like Alexander William. Did y'all talk about music? Because he performed music in another series that he acts in, The Wheel of Time. He did like an entire song in that series called The Man Who Can't Forget. I'll forward it to you. It's amazing. If you've talked to the guy, you'll appreciate it. It's a great singer, great guitarist.
Yeah, really good. I didn't know that he was also a musician. We were talking about music, about this band from Denmark, but I didn't know that he was a musician also. I have to see it.
He was being humble, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, you were in the scene, one of my favorite scenes in the whole show, which is when Tove finds her sister's body and brings her down the galley of the third class.
Oh.
And all of you guys are on the sides of the hall. People are removing their hats.
Yeah.
And sharing in the grief of her death. And it's just such a beautiful moment. Can you talk about that scene and what instructions did they give you? What did they tell you to do?
Well, okay, about the hat, you have to do it. The Ravens hat. Some people they forgot it. You have to take the hat because it's really. Okay, good. But they were not so much take it because the moment that they entry with the body was really impression for us, and we were really wow. What is happening here? That's
sure.
And then that emotion, there was really taken kneeling one of the first takes, and that was that scene was really emotional. This we were living and really. When you enter to the set, we were living that scene. We were people from the third class, and then you can feel the smell. You can feel the little beds. They were there in the ship, and then it was where people sit down there. And you kind of feel this kind of things, and we were really feeling that. And this special thing when she came with the body, it was really emotional. Yeah, and like I said, we don't have to do it too much takes because we were really present in the first, one of the first takes. Yeah. Normally, for example, the other takes we did a lot of take the people walking like a zombies. When it was this sound, that a lot of takes. But especially this one, it was really because we were living, like I said, we were living, the third class people there. Yeah.
I want to relate with Jonathan for a second, if you don't mind, Lindsay, because I've done a little bit of work too. And it's very much like you said, the director on set with us, I was playing like a recovering drug addict with a bunch of other people. They would have actual recovering drug addicts come and talk to us before we filmed our scenes, just to, talk to us and get us in the mood. And like when the camera was on, that's who you were. Like, you were a recovering drug addict who was confused. So like, you had to do it multiple times, and they explained it to us like, you are a prop. You are a living prop on this film. So like, don't overdo it. You're just a prop in the background. But it was really neat the way they really humanized the experience for us.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it did the same thing for you too. Like they try to put you in the mood of the situation that you're in. So you're not just like some random blank-faced person. You're like actually feeling like, whoa, this is a tense moment. So I gotta,
even if you are really background actor or background, they do it stuff there. All the time created my own, character, my own one, even if I really in the back, and push it everything in that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So I know Steve has a few questions about music, but I did want to ask, before we go over to there, I wanted to ask you this question. So this is a group full of fans of Bo and Yantya. Yeah. Did you get a chance to work with them or interact with them? And if so, what were they like on set?
He's really passionate. He's really, really, he doesn't stop. He's all the time in movement, all the time, and talking with the people, talking with the actors, and it's really amazing director. But there were days that there were the other director from the UK, because I was one director from UK and from Germany, co-production, And was 1 week there was Parab, and the other was the director, George, I think George called the director from UK. And he was really amazing, funny too, really, really great. One scene when we went to one of the cabin of the sleep room from in the ship from one of the crew. We went there, they were shooting the scene, and we entered with the guns, there. And I was with my hat, and I was the only one with the glasses, the only one, and the whole, the only one, have glasses, and this is one glasses, round glass. We entered there, and was the director said, wait, stop! Nobody told me that John Lennon is here. Hey guys, John Lennon. The director, the old people was laughing, and the actor said, yes, like John Lennon. In that moment, the director all the time, they go, okay, John Lennon, you stand back here, and another scene, you stand back here, John Lennon, and call me all the time like that. It was a funny thing. So that
became your nickname.
Yeah, but the working with Bharat was really, it's a passionate director, so really, and then like I said, all the time in movement, all the time talking to people, all the time to really do it, and it's like also you can see him not in a good way, that I'm saying, not like a director, it's one part of us, between of us, and moving and around of us, and then early and then talk with us, and it's an amazing guy. And I was wondering, because I wanted to appear more, I wanted to work more in the second season of 1899, but I don't know if it's happened.
Yeah. Well, John Lennon seems like a good pivot to Steve asking you a few questions about music. So I'm going to let you guys schmooze about that for a little bit, and I'm going to go over on the Facebook group and see if we can get some more questions.
Okay, Lindsay's gone, so we can do boy talk now.
Yeah. I'm backstage now. Let's bring Bria first.
Well, I guess my first lead in here is you, Jonathan. You're the front man of like two bands, the Blackbirds and the Recalls. So first off, I guess my first question is on the Recalls, that also features your brother on bass as well. So I was wondering like how long you guys have played music together, and what kind of relationship you guys have outside of music.
Yeah, we are two only in the family. It's my brother and me only. and we are friends the whole life. I bring to him to also do. He finished his studies from psychology, and I bring to him to Barcelona. I say, "Okay, come to make music with me." And then we moved also together to Germany, and we started to do the music, and then playing here a lot of kick. Play with bands like the Seeds in that time when the Sky Saxon was alive. In Frankfurt, we played with the Seeds. We played with Kura Shaker from the UK, and our relationship is pretty well because we love music. And we created records. And Blackbeard was a thing for you say, okay, we need money for go to the studio because it's
yes.
And then there's a studio in Hamburg that they have everything for the 60s. It's a really amazing studio, have everything vintage, but the studio is expensive,
right.
It's really amazing to record there. And they say, what can I do? Because okay, we are musicians, we have too much money. Okay, let's create a second band, an alter ego, called the Blackbeard, and we play all the 60s stuff, and you can get money. The same guys.
Okay, it's the same band. It's the same band. I was thinking it was two separate bands.
The same guys.
You're a genius. Good job.
And we play, and people say, "Hey, that's your real heroes." Peruque, Peruque is called the what's it called in English? The
mop top.
Mop up. Yeah. Mop top. That's a mop top, or is it your real hero? Most of the old women come to take the. And then the Blackbeard started to call it to town parties, birthday parties, weddings, and they start every weekend. And we get a lot of money, and we can continue recording stuff with the records. But the records all the time was with the main band. We do it just
sure.
Yeah.
That's. I'm impressed. Like, I don't know if you've heard the American band Parliamentary Funkadelic, but they kind of do the same thing where they were a band called Parliament. And then because of some kind of contractual obligation, they couldn't release new music. So they created a second band, same guys, called Funkadelic. And then they could do whatever they wanted. So then like when you hear Parliament Funkadelic, it's like the same group. It's just they have different contracts, I suppose. So that's really neat that you guys do that. I saw that y'all played the Cavern Club a couple times. Is that the same Cavern Club that the Beatles have played at back in their days?
Yes and no. Because it's the Cavern Club from Liverpool, but they moved to places.
Okay.
Because the underground is passing from there, and they have to take it to building, up in the Matthew Street, and it's the same cavern, all the same ornament on the same, wall and everything, but not the same, not nearly the same place, but not, And we would like to play with the Regals there, no the cover band, Beatles, and we play with the Regals, and then we're playing the whole music, and they invited us 2 times, and we played 2 times there, so it was amazing. The first time it was I
bet.
Beatles were here, and we were playing the backstage when Paul McCartney was playing with the guitarist from the Pink Floyd. They were doing that show in the 90s, I think so. And we will play there in the same place, and it was, for us, it was really amazing. I was really nervous the first night that we played there. We played one in the front stage, there's the normal stage where the Beatles were playing.
Yeah.
And then the next day we play in the backstage, and then after that we play in the front is a cavern pub. Okay. And it was really amazing because we were walking then in Liverpool, around Liverpool, there were a lot of tourists. Hey, can we take a picture with you? You're Lennon, the Beatles. And we were listening, really, really 60s in that time, and then I was with my glasses, then can we take a picture of that? And then we were sit down in the corner of Matthew Street, sit down, eating drink something. I come one guy and said, "Hey, can I take a picture of you?" You say, "Of course, we can have it. But let's go to some other place. I have a place." I say, okay, okay, let's go. And 4 people, 2 Chilean guys, they're more scared than me. And then we went to a place. It was a big studio, a photo studio, and this guy was taking picture of many artists, like like Blondie, and then
heck yeah,
the Libertines and everything. And we were, Cool. It really for free, and he give you some pictures and took picture of us, and then put it in his catalog, and it was really great, really great.
That's so lucky. That's great to get that for free, because you usually got to pay hundreds of bucks for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but when you went to play to camera cars, you would do it everything for free. Nothing. It's no money. You know, you have.
I know that.
Yeah. And then we play also in the Indra Club in Kaiserkeller when the Beatles started. You know, in the last year we played there. I was in Indra. We were in Indra in the backstage, and the Indra Club have the same table, the same ornament from when the Beatles were playing there.
Sweet.
And we were backstage there. It was really, and the Kaiserkeller too. And they started there. You know.
Yeah.
In Hamburg. It was really cool.
Something I wanted to ask you before, this is like a sidetrack question I meant to ask you like at the very beginning. You speak at least 3 languages, is that correct?
Nearly 4, because when I was in Barcelona, Catalan was but yeah, German, Spanish, English, Spanish. German is really difficult. I'm doing now a casting for a historic film from the 1400.
Okay, all right.
And I will do the casting, and in German, it's the more difficult thing than that. I'm learning my text, because in the next week I have to send the tape, the casting tape, because they started the movie. They're gonna start the movie in December. In December, I think so. And also I have now they call me for the next movie from Wes Anderson.
Hey, yes,
it's
one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite. When I saw it, even as an extra, I worked there. I love it. It's my favorite director. Yeah.
I don't have any language follow-up questions. I just wanted to commend you for being able to speak multiple languages. And I think I'm just going to take a wild guess and say it might have something to do with being a musician, because they say that part of the brain kind of activates both things, like language and music.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you take that kind of approach to it.
Drama first. For to be a drama, you have to... Yeah.
That's right. Lindsay's back. So I was going to ask you one more question about your bands. And this is just a really simple question. Like the Blackbirds, y'all cover mostly 60s stuff, the Beatles, the Stones, the Who. But I noticed y'all slip in some contemporary stuff in there too, like Kings of Leon, Vampire Weekend, Pixies. Was that the band's choice, or does that come from requests from people at your shows?
No, was a request. We were playing in a town called Tuttlingen, and they're crazy there because we play every year. When we play now in April, and they tried to ask, "Can you play Wonderworld from the Oasis?" Okay, and we play Wonderworld. Can you play Pixies? And they would play because we finished the show for 60s. And then they would, one more. And then we started to, with the band, we love this kind of music because we love the Oasis, we love Pixies, we love, I'm growing up with Weezer, Sonic Youth, and this kind of band. And I know many songs. And we started to play it, and then every year, we added more songs, and then every year we finish all the 60s stuff, all the set of 60s stuff, and now come. And we finish all the time the evening with Ramones. Hey, let's go.
Yes, a nice upbeat one. Yeah, that's right. Get the crowd going.
Yeah.
All right, you two, I'm back.
Oh, we got to stop about music now.
You have to let the girl back in the club again. So we have had a viewer question, another question from Emily Stevens, and she wants to know about the scene with Ivan and Anker that you mentioned that was cut. Can you tell us about what the scene was?
Yeah, it was before the fight, before Olaf went away, this was in town, Olaf, and come what's it called? Is one of the, not the captain, one of the main people from the ship. I said, okay, this German actor.
And probably Isaac Dentler, Steve.
Yeah. And he said, okay, let's take the guns, and who fight with me? That was before of that. Then we were talking, who's taking part of the, fight or no fight, And then I was in one table with the family, and we were talking about that. That was the scene that was recorded. And we were talking about that, and the uncle was discussing things with his wife, and it's okay. No, we don't have to fight. We have to, thinking about it. and that was the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Was correct. I thought the thing that this scene was really great scene. Then every part of the people were talking in their own language.
Okay.
It's like a group of people talking in Spanish, other people was talking in Russian, other people talking in Danish about what is happening. What is about this kid, and then
Right.
was every group of us, and that was correct also. Yeah, doesn't appear in the show.
So I'm assuming you've watched the show in its entirety, 1899. So who's your favorite character in this cast and why?
My favorite was, I'm really bad for names. Huh?
If you describe them, we can figure it out.
Yeah, if you describe who the character is, we can help you out with the name.
I would say Jonas Holder. Jonas Holder.
Captain Ike.
He's really amazing. I was really a fan of him in Dark. Really fan of him in Dark, and that was a really amazing character. And then seeing him acting there is really, really, really good. I'm really impressed with this guy. Really, and we were talking a little bit. We were talking at this is really, really nice guy. And I think that character is was my favorite. Yeah, yeah.
So we know that after season 1, the show was canceled. Everybody's really bummed about that. And I know you had no knowledge about what was going to happen in reality in season 2. But, if you were planning the show, what would have wanted to happen next? Did you have any ideas about where the story should have gone?
For me, it was because I am a fan of time movies, movies in for the 1800 or for the 1400.
Oh, like period pieces, basically.
Yeah. Now, the end of the series was wondering the ship how arrived to USA. How
right.
this arriving there. And how will be did you arrive into another dimension, or did you arrive into other time or whatever? That was my about the next season.
Right. Because that was supposed to be, that's why everybody was allegedly there, because they wanted to go to the new world.
Yeah.
So, even if it's on the spaceship, when they arrive to the quote unquote new world, what would the new world have been like? I don't really think I'd considered that question. I was more focused on the journey, but that's a good point. Like, what would have, if they had arrived at the destination, would it have been as great as they thought?
I think it kind of reminds the Dark show. Kind of, if you arrive to other dimension, other time, or what? What's my in my mind, my questions, how it could be. But I was imagining that if you arrive, to the past of USA or to the future or something like that, it was really in my mind, that kind of things. Yeah.
So you're a fan of the show Dark as well. Who's your favorite character on that show? Or is it still older Jonas? Because there's so many great characters in that show.
Yeah, well, the young Jonas also. I saw a movie now. What's it called? The movie from the Second War also.
All the light we cannot see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's amazing. He's acting really good, really good. Young actor and. It's one favorite character also good. And
we saw a lot more of him there. Yeah.
And the father also is really good, and he was acting in the movie too, as recently. And
you mean Jonas's dad, Michael?
Yeah.
He was really only in, we got to see how good of an actor he was in one episode of Dark. He didn't show up that often in the show, but his one episode was so good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Was he in other stuff? I don't remember seeing him in anything else besides Dark. Was he in anything else?
I'm not correct, but I saw it in Indiana Jones. I think so. Or no.
Oh, I can see that.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. He appeared in one big movie. I'm not pretty sure if it's in Indiana Jones or what other movie that I saw. But in the new Harry Potter stuff, what's it called?
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, probably we're probably thinking of.
What is it called?
The Wizard.
No.
Yeah.
Mystical Beasts, something along those lines.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So
Beast.
old Nickel is in that.
Oh, I think he's talking about, is he talking about Ulrich?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Ulrich he's thinking of that's in, because I think he and Mads Mikkelsen are in a movie together. But Steve, do you have any questions here you want to ask?
Like the thing I was most interested in was the fact that I don't mean to disparage you, but when I heard you were coming on, that the first thing I wanted to know was about the volume. And you mentioned the volume that you got to film into, the big LED screen that you got to stand around and do your filming. So were you actually around when they did like the thing where they like changed scenes like within the volume? Could you actually see them messing around with that thing?
What do you mean about volume?
Okay, sure. Like when you were on set for 1899 and you said you had the screens, the green
The
screen
immersive
behind you,
Yeah.
and you could see the sets. Did you actually see like them change set to set?
I saw volume of the of microphones or whatever.
Of course, I'm sorry. They call it something. That's what they call the thing, is the volume.
I'm a musician. I was singing in volume. Okay, was huge. You know, I was in the prop of on the boat on the ship,
Mhm.
and you can see the ocean like be there. I said, and there was volume. It was an anger. Really, every studio is a really big anger. You know, really, like I said, that it's kind of in Hollywood because it's a city of studios there, and the volume is, nearly like this U2 show that they're doing now. With all the
at Las Vegas, yes.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's really.
Now you saw the ocean and the volume, so that was of course fake because it was like on a screen. But did you actually get wet on set? Did they actually like?
Yes. It was a really a lot. And in the fight, I was. Was so exciting. It's exciting. Be in the fight in the ship and up in the ship. This fight in the city doesn't appear too much, but it was hours of fight. And then, now come the rain, and then you're fighting with the rain, and come the ocean, and it was really a lot of hours of work. And you can see it, and I think in the show not so much, but yeah.
Was that uncomfortable? Did they give you somewhere to dry off or any kind of comfort?
You were inside the surf suite.
Neoprene. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
You were inside of the closest.
So you were comfy.
Mm-hmm. Did your character, I don't think I saw you jump off the boat, but in theory, did your character jump off the boat?
No, I didn't jump.
So where were you then? Because at the end of the show, we only see the survivors.
Oh.
So if you didn't jump off the boat, where were you?
Yeah, what happened?
I was continuing in my tables down on the ship in the third class in my table writing. I think it was, I was kind of when they were fighting, I was kind of okay. There's no fight. Try to making peace, making peace. But
I thought everybody on the boat died, who wasn't on the survivors list. But there was just some people hanging out in the bottom,
just still chilling, being communal.
Yeah, I was there, and in the third class in the table, still writing. I think
interesting.
They call it that a certain kind of people to jump. One day they said, okay, you and you and you're gonna jump, and then
but you never jumped though.
No.
But John Lennon did not jump. Alive.
It was good because I want to appear in the second season, and then I said, I don't want to jump.
Yes.
I knew your story. You told me you were supposed to have more speaking in the second season. But we know also that the crew gets recycled. Everybody gets recycled. So it's an interesting thing to think about. So we are almost at time because we're going to wrap up neatly in 6 minutes. What is coming up for you? Do you have anything you want to promote? Any movies you can tell us or shows you're working on? I know you were sort of telling Steve while I was out of the room, which was not fair at all, that you were sharing information while I was out of the room. But is there anything coming up for you want to promote?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of casting now, a lot of reading a lot of the script. And now I'm doing a casting for a movie from the 1400. And in German, it's really, really difficult because the accent and everything for the 1400. Also, they called me 2 days ago for appearing for work in a movie from Wes Anderson, which I love this director as my favorite director. And I saw the mail. I said, whoa. Yeah. But they sent me the mail and said, okay, you have the time or whatever. But they still decided if I go in or not. 2 other independent movies in Hamburg. I will shoot in a movie in Hamburg. It's about a mafia from Latin America come to Hamburg to sell drugs and everything. And I was
fun.
I'm one of these guys. Yeah, this kind of happened. And then we are in conversation recording the 4th album of the Recalls, and we're doing the songs now, and we're gonna go to the studio that's happening now in the live. Yeah.
So Jonathan, if people want to follow your content and your updates, where would you like to direct them to? Where should they look for your updates?
You come to Instagram, Facebook also. I'm all the time I update things in Facebook and Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. Which Instagram would you most want people to subscribe to? Because you have several. You have would you want them to go to the Jonathan Walrus one or?
Mostly, Jonathan Walrus is more for acting. And the other one is Nuwanda Poet is more for the music and for promoting some clothes and the stuff that we have a shop from 60s clothes in Stuttgart. Oh. We bring some stuff from England from 60s and then we selling it. And this kind of stuff. But the more Jonathan Walrus, more for acting and stuff. Jonathan Walrus.
Okay. Yeah. Where can you find the shop? You said you sell clothes?
In Stuttgart and also on the internet. It's called Pogo. Pogo is, yeah. I was in conversation with a guy from Liverpool when I was playing in Cavern Club. And he have all this suite for the Beatles and all the boots from the Beatles, And then cool. It was okay, pretty cool. I want to bring this thing to Germany. And they okay, we went in conversation with this guy, and he started to send us to Germany from Liverpool, all the boots and all the stuff from the Beatles. And all the bands, tribute from Beatles, they all are buying these kind of things. Really good.
I personally follow the Recalls and the Blackbirds, and you spell the Blackbirds Byrds. And those are both great accounts to follow because, you're posting music on there a lot. I really like your 2020 album that you released. And that's, if anybody goes to the Recalls on Instagram, I mean, you can click right to that album. Jonathan does a good job of posting stories and stuff with live performances. So I've enjoyed, your stuff on Instagram since I've been following you.
Thank you very much.
Steve's an excellent promoter. He's very good at.
I'm good at following people.
Yeah, but when he likes something, he's like, because he's been telling me, Jonathan has great, I mainly wanted to speak to you because of 1899, but Steve's been like promoting you to me. He's saying like, Jonathan has great music. You should listen to his group, the Recalls. They're really good. So he promotes people he likes to his friends. So
I will send you a record. Okay, you have to send me your address. I will send you the 3 records that we have. Okay.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
You might show up as a soundtrack on one of his podcasts. Who knows? So
I showed him my music to the people from the 1900, but they doesn't fit together. It didn't fit together. This kind of other kind of style. Music.
Well, Jonathan, thank you so much. You've been a wonderful guest. We've loved listening to you, and we'd love to have you on again. Probably Steve wants to have you on his show just to talk about music for like a few hours, but I'll let the two of you set that up.
A pleasure.
And thank you.
No, thank you guys for inviting me. Thank you. It was really, really a pleasure to know you guys and to be in the show. This was really amazing. I will send you some views and stuff for the show today.
Great.
Yeah, great. That sounds great.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys.
Bye.
Great evening.
Have a great show. Break a leg.
Thank you.
Break a leg.
Ciao.